Good afternoon, folks. Sorry about the crummy lighting, but there's a lot of lighting coming in from my window, so it just saves me on electric not to turn the lights on. I've got myself a bit of a headache. Ah, yummy. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're all doing okay. Even after cleaning up this garbage can, it still stinks. You can use as much Lysol and stuff as you can on things. Just sometimes you have to really get in there and scrub. And that's mostly a paper wastebasket, so it shouldn't really be that smelly like that. Excuse me. Oh man, I've had a headache for the past couple of days already. It's just I can't seem to shake it. It's because this weather has just been all over the place, and plus I was outside doing the final touches on whatever decorating I'm going to be doing for Christmas. So otherwise, what I have outside is what I have outside, and that's pretty much it. But it's just kicking up all that dust and vacuuming and everything else that I did here yesterday. My nose doesn't exactly like that too much. But at least the new Christmas tree is up. You know, and I am going to have some type of Christmas one way or the other. I'm going to have my Christmas by attrition if necessary. I don't expect a lot of people to show up in the live stream because it is early. It's only noon. So I figured, I might as well just use my energy and pack up these eBay orders. But again, thank you everybody so much for helping to support the channel on my eBay store. And there's got to be a lot of pollen in the air, or dust or whatever that is. Oh man. I'll be right back, folks. Alrighty. Now I'm going to have to scrub my bathroom. It's about that time. Generations. Moe drew this. Am I saying that correctly? Welcome to this impromptu live stream, just like the rest of my live streams. How you doing, folks? Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all having a good week. Alexa, what's the current temperature?
Right now, it's 44 degrees Fahrenheit.
What's today's, Alexa, what's today's forecast?
The current weather is 44 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can look for partly sunny weather, with a high of 48 degrees and a low of 32 degrees.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little cold out there today, it looks like. Colts, Indianapolis Colts. Well, actually, I'm really not a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm a New York Giants fan. I'm born and bred in New York City. But man, the Giants choked again. Oh, yeah. My poor New York Giants can't seem to get a break. As soon as the fourth quarter rolls around, they just go. So I'm kind of ashamed to be wearing Giants gear anymore. I mean, I got a lot of retro stuff I could wear to kind of like mitigate that as a Giants fan, but it's kind of shameful how bad the Giants are doing this year. It's awful, man. It really is. So, yeah, man, dude, I don't know what's going on with them guys. I watched them play against the Patriots, and they had Eli Manning, and I think they had Mario Manningham on the show as well. I'm like, what's happening? I didn't even bother to put the audio on. I think I got through maybe 10 minutes of the first quarter, and already I could tell like something was wrong. Yeah, at this point in time, Seattle. I mean, whatever, man. It is what it is. So let me get to processing these orders here. But I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hey, I'll let you folks duke it out in the chat. That's what I like, man. I like to see that kind of interaction, man. You guys could duke it out in the chat. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I do upload regularly, so thank you very much for those who are joining in. So basically, I got a bunch of eBay sports card orders. You know, for example, here we have a Tyler Locklear color match auto. So thank you to my eBay customers. I do have an eBay store called the Carolina Collector 001. You go check that out. It helps to support the channel financially. Yeah, I listed some new sports cards recently, and I still have over 500 items again, which is good. And as always, I got some of the best customers that a guy can ask for, especially when it comes to eBay and what have you. So thank you. I have a Robin Yount rookie. You know, I posted it over at my community page that, again, another Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, Upper Deck rookie. I actually have one. I'll be right back. I don't know. We got that Christopher Walken thing going today. I don't know. Oh my. Clearly a review of this card is in order. I can't do Christopher Walken. But yeah, there's the Ken Griffey Jr. PSA 10 Upper Deck Star Rookie. There was a sale of one of these a few weeks back for $5,300. Allegedly, and I posted it on my community page, another PSA 10 just like this, and there are over 4,000 of these in a population of PSA 10s, sold for $5,800. $5,800 for an Upper Deck base rookie. The first vintage card I pulled was a Bo Jackson era card, 2014,000. Yeah, Bo Jackson cards have made a real resurgence recently. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube reviewers showing off a lot of them cards. I do have some Bo Jacksons in my PC. I just haven't got around to grading them or anything like that. My dad, actually, before he passed away, had one or two Bo Jacksons. But, you know, the grading company I was using, SGC, unfortunately, they seem to be really going belly up. Ever since PSA plucked away all of their top graders, it just seems like PSA is really dying. Not PSA, SGC. SGC is really dying out, man. It's a real shame because I'm an SGC snob. I love them guys and their slabs, but it's just, unfortunately, everybody's jumping ship and going to BGS. And now BGS has stopped taking bulk submissions because everybody's defaulting to them now as the next best company, because PSA is just too expensive and they're too inconsistent. I have a Kevin Mass rookie. How you like them apples? Hey man, everybody's got that card they like. I always wanted a Ken Griffey Jr. star rookie. I actually pulled 2 of them out of 2 complete sets last year. But, you know, I had the money at the time to pick up a PSA 10, and I only paid $1,700 for that one. And to see that they're going for almost $6,000. I mean, geez. Now, there was a sale of one that just went for $4,000. I have to check PSA's website, because PSA typically update it on their website. But, I mean, that's just insane for a star rookie. I hate to say it, like, I'm tempted to sell mine. You know, that's a lot of money, man. And I know I can sell it on my eBay store, or at my eBay store, I should say, but that's a lot of money, man. A lot of Christmas money right there. If I decided to sell it, excuse me. That's a down payment for a new car, man. Jeez, like the things you could do with that money. I mean, I would like to get not a new car, but a decently used one. Yeah, I see that Bo Jackson card that you're talking about there. GK. It's commonly reviewed. It's like the Ripken era card, the Bo Jackson black and white when he's wearing the shoulder pads with the baseball behind his back, the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, the Don Mattingly rookie. There are quite a few cards that are just iconic in the hobby space. Come on. You know, I've got a Don Mattingly rookie. I have a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. I had a Barry Bonds 87 rookie, but I sold it off because I ended up pulling an autograph of his out of 2025 flagship. So I decided to part with his rookie card, which I think currently they're still floating around $360, something like that. Whereas this Bo Jackson auto that I pulled, it was a base auto. In an SGC 10 8.5, I would estimate it to be around $1,000, the autograph. If I were to put that in a BGS slab, I mean, I just don't trust PSA because PSA is way too inconsistent. If I were to get that in a BGS slab, it would probably bump up the value just a little bit more, probably like around $1,200. Because Bonds started signing autos recently again. You know, and that's music to everybody's ears in the collecting space. And I got lucky and I pulled that one. I think it was from a hanger box I pulled it. So, you know, I decided to sell off the rookie card and kept the auto. I mean, it's a better and more superior card. But again, in an SGC slab, a 10 8.5, the card is only valued, I'd say, around $1,000, anywhere between $900 to $1,000. So that's why I kept it and sold off the rookie. But you can still get Barry Bonds rookie cards. They show up pretty often on eBay, and they usually don't increase in value that much. From what I've seen, they still float around that $360 to $380 price range, so you can still get them. I can always get one down the road someplace, you know, but since I got his autograph, you know, I prefer the autograph card. It's just one less slab to worry about, you know. So as you see, I do everything myself. I print out the labels. I mean, I printed out the labels already off camera. It's just a matter of getting them all taped up, packed up, and shipped out. So that's the pain in the ass. You know, there's so many little details that I've incorporated into what I do for my sports card sales, that I try to eliminate all problems. But the post office seems to be playing games again because, again, I've got non-delivery requests. But the cards are still showing that they're in transit. And again, post office is pulling their games where cards are not being delivered to their destinations. It shows that they're in transit, and then all of a sudden they disappear. So that's worrisome. 2 down, 3, 4 to go. So there we go. For a moment, you thought I was John Cena because of my outfit. You know, people have been comparing me to a lot of guys. I've been getting Burton C. Bell from Fear Factory. I've got, what's his face there? Kiefer Sutherland I got recently. Now I'm getting John Cena. Okay. I got Edge, the wrestler, once. I got Obi-Wan Kenobi when I grew out the beard and mustache. Hello from Israel. Hello from Israel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I got 2 orders down. 1, 2, 3, 4 to go. So, but yeah, I figure I occupy my time wisely and be a little bit more productive here today, because I just want a nice, quiet, relaxed day. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and also smash that like button. It really helps the channel to grow, and the channel has grown, so thank you very, very much. You know, it's nice interacting with, you know, people. I mean, you don't have to be an eBay customer or any of that kind of stuff, but if you're into like collecting stuff and sports or whatever it is, I mean, you know, it's just cool to like, you know, mix it up with different kinds of people. So, oops. You know, and it's cool because I've been getting all kinds of people coming up to the channel here. So, yes, and I'm not going to answer you. So you don't get to demand anything from me. You're gone. No one demands anything on my channel to get me to do things or say things. Sorry. That doesn't happen. Sorry about that, folks. There's always 1 or 2 in every live stream these days that, you know, I'm trying my best to keep politics and certain subject matter off the channel. You know, I've actually taken down a lot of content, you know, just for my own peace of mind, you know, and on the advice of a good friend in particular, and I'm going to stand by my word as best I can to try to not get into certain topics and certain conversations. And unless like politics directly affects the hobby in some way or another, I'm not going to entertain any of that kind of stuff any longer. Sorry if that disappoints some people out there, but keep your politics to yourself. You know, right now we're talking about packing up sports cards for my eBay customers and sports talk, not political, you know, gobbledygook. So, anyway, with that being said, let's continue on here. But yeah, I've gotten Kiefer Sutherland. I've gotten, you know, when I had my long hair, I was getting Kurt Cobain for a while, James Hetfield from Metallica. Do you have WWE Topps cards now? No, I don't collect wrestling cards. I lost my interest in wrestling many, many years ago, probably when I was a kid. You know, when I was transitioning from a kid to a teenager, I just lost interest in wrestling altogether. I mean, my brother and myself, we did have those old school LJN wrestling dolls, the big rubber ones. Like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, all of us kids had them back in the 80s. But again, I'm just not a wrestling guy. You know, I live in North Carolina, which is a big wrestling state. North Carolina, of course, is the home of Ric Flair. So you do have a lot of wrestling fans here in North Carolina. But again, yeah, I'm just not a wrestling guy. You know, as a kid, yeah, it's one thing, but for me, I'm past all that stuff. I'm not a big wrestling guy. I'm more European soccer, baseball, and football these days. In particular, I'm a Bayern Munich fan, a New York Giants fan, New York Mets, and New York Yankees fan. Those are the teams I follow. But anything to do with wrestling is just everybody has their own niche, their own go-to. And for me, I don't know. I grew up out of wrestling. Even video games, it's very rare I pick up video games and play. I don't have Xbox 360 or PS5 or anything like that. I got the retro mini systems like the retro NES, the retro SNES. I have the Intellivision Flashback. I'm well aware they just came out with another Intellivision system recently, which was manufactured by Atari, which is surprising. But I already have the Intellivision Flashback that has, I think, 65 games built into it. So I find no real recourse or will or want to buy this new Intellivision, though it looks cool because it's got Bluetooth controllers and it's supposed to be like 65% the size of the OG system. But I might look into getting the Vectrex Mini. That looks cool. I've been seeing a lot of reviews with that here on YouTube, and I used to have a Vectrex as a kid. That's one thing my dad went out of his way to get, besides the Intellivision when we were kids. Yeah, he bought the Vectrex for us. But, of course, like most 80s parents, if any of you had the ColecoVision or Coleco tabletop games like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, or any of them tabletop games, and I used to have an extensive collection of them, they would probably be at the end of a baseball bat because of the noise that they make. And after a while, because of the types of noises and stuff, and the electric bill, and a lot of other reasons too, my dad learned to hate that thing, like most 80s parents did. I think the Coleco tabletops are probably an 80s parent's worst nightmare, especially Pac-Man. Do 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 beep 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 do do. It was annoying, man. Even as an adult, I used to have in-box versions of those things because I used to be a big in-box collector. But yeah, the Coleco games are just awful. They were an auditory nightmare, you know. So that's 4 down, 2 to go, and then it's time for a walk to the post office. And then I might list some more cards later. I still have a couple autographs I have to sift through. And it's hard to let go of autographs. Like, I can let go of parallels any day. Parallels don't bother me unless they're like certain parallels of certain players that I'm collecting. You know, like I just recently sold a Gunnar Henderson red out of 5, which most people probably wouldn't sell. But, you know, my assessments so far have been correct. Like, I had an Anthony Volpe red out of 5 that I sold. And, you know, there's a lot of talk about him. There's a lot of talk about Gunnar Henderson. You know, the Baltimore Orioles in general really didn't do all that great. So a lot of my choices of cards that I've sold have been pretty good. You know, I got out when I could. It's like the, as a matter of fact, shameless plug over at my eBay store. There's the Ellie De La Cruz 10.9.5 red out of 25 bookend auto. And his card prices have been dropping quite significantly. So I'm like, you know what? I better get out of Ellie while I can, because, you know, then it becomes very scary to sell these cards. So, you know, and Ellie De La Cruz, he's like Bryce Harper. You know, he's a fan favorite of the Cincinnati Reds, like Joey Votto, for example. And Joey Votto was a hothead before he finally hung up his bat. You know, Ellie may be a fan favorite, but, you know, he's got a really bad glove. He's made a lot of errors and stuff like that, and bad fielding choices. And, you know, that's what happens with youth. You know, but I've been watching the trends with Ellie De La Cruz cards, and I think it's time for me to get out while I can. You know, I know it's the off season and you kind of want to see what happens throughout his career, but for me, you know, I'm not a Reds fan. I'm not a Reds collector. And I've been sitting on that auto for a while now, and I decided it's time to part with it. And then again, it's also in an SGC slab. That whole thing with SGC and PSA, it's like really, really insane these days. It's a real shame because I really like the SGC. Being that I live here in North Carolina, I would ship off my cards to Florida, to Boca Raton, where SGC is. They would open up the box, then the clock would start, and I'd have my cards back in about a month, give or take. Or 30 calendar days, not business days, calendar days. And then once PSA started plucking away their graders and shrunk them down, everybody's starting to default to BGS now, from what I've been seeing. And I'd like to get a new get one or two of my cards in a BGS slab. I would like to send off my Aaron Judge Bowman Chrome Refractor to BGS and have it crossed over. Because I do have an SGC 10 Bowman Chrome Aaron Judge. And even if it got a gold label, I'd be happy with that. If it got a black label, that'd be awesome. But if it got a gold label, I'd still be happy with that. That's still not bad for a BGS card. But everybody's been telling me this new BGS is not quite like the old BGS was. They might be a little stricter with their grading, and apparently they're not doing group submissions, and I don't do group subs anyway, so I do individual cards. I'll do like 6 at a time, if anything, if that. But I really want to get my dad's cards graded. That's the one thing that kills me, is I want my dad's cards and sleeves. Especially that Hank Aaron. That's got to be at least a BGS 5. I would accept a 5 or even a 6. You know, it's a shame because SGC is really good with vintage, but you know, with everything that's gone on since the China virus, SGC's really, really taking a hit, man. Really, really taking a hit. And I don't know if I want to put any more cards into SGC sleeves, because I think I still, after, let's just say if I sell that Ellie De La Cruz auto, I think I only have maybe 2 more slabs, 2 more SGC slabs, and that's it. And the rest are all PSAs, and I don't have many of those either because I've been very picky with the cards that I choose to keep and choose to sell. You know, I have a Paul Skeens yellow foil from Update, last year's Update, but I have his Red out of 5 Mojo refractor in the PSA 10 that I won in auction. And now he's a Cy Young Award winner. The problem is, though, is the Pittsburgh Pirates are a farm team. So what do you do in that case, you know? So I've been making really, really tough decisions, which cards to keep, which cards to sell. I mean, obviously, you can't go wrong with Ohtani. Can't go wrong with Judge. Can't go wrong with Cal Raleigh, Fernando Tatis, Bobby Witt Jr., guys like that. But that's it. That's all my orders for now. So if you're an eBay customer of mine, your orders are all officially processed and done and sealed in envelopes and all stickered up and all that good stuff. So I'll get those out in a little while. I probably will be listing some more sports cards. And it's funny because I just listed a whole bunch of sports cards to get myself back over the 500 mark. And man, everybody just attacked those cards, which is good. You know, I have a lot of cards that I'm sitting on behind the scenes that I haven't released to the public that are PC cards. So some of those PC cards, like the most recent autos I listed, man, you guys scooped them right up like that. I think the Jazz Chisholm, was it that? No, it wasn't. It wasn't a Jazz Chisholm. What was the fastest selling card I ever had? It was a Bowman Chrome Prospect Power Up. I forgot what his name is. I had 2 of them. They sold immediately. And I still have, I think, 1 or 2 that I need to list. Yeah, I got 1 more left, and that's a George Lombard Jr. So that's the last of my prospect power-ups. At least I think those are the last. I have to look in the box here because I still have a lot of cards I need to sleeve up yet. So on that note, folks, not much more to talk about at this point. You know, again, if you're a customer of mine over at my eBay store, your most recent orders are now processed and will be in the mailbox by the end of today. Hopefully, it doesn't sound like it's going to rain according to my Amazon Echo Dot there. So I will get these out at my earliest convenience. Thank you to the customers that bought these off of me. And any other outstanding orders are already out the door, and I'm looking forward to your continued business. And who's that? Pull up, pull up. Give me 1 minute. I'm ending my live stream here. It's one of my neighbors. So anyway, folks, take care. God bless. Stay safe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. And again, God bless you all. Merry Christmas. And until next time, I will see you all very soon. And again, thank you for your business over at my eBay store. Oh, before I end this live stream, you can also follow me at eBay, so that this way, when I list new sports cards, you can actually keep up to date in real time when I'm posting those cards. And you'll probably get email alerts when I do so. So thank you, everybody. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. I will see you all very soon.